Lynda, welcome to the village again. Now under, gosh, really sad circumstances because for most people that are looking at the hurricanes, and Hurricane Melissa, you're saying it missed Kingston, it missed these other places, right? That I guess a lot of people have in their heart because that's really where they grew up. This is where your area that you're familiar with. This is where your family has called home for 4 generations. That's completely different. How, like, tell us, before we even talk about what we could do, tell us about Treasure Beach. Tell us about Black River area.
Well, it's one of the most historic areas on the island, and it has lost a lot of our heritage sites. The courthouse in Black River, the parish council, everything has just been completely demolished. You know what? Everybody knows the North Coast. Everybody knows Kingston, but the South Coast is the breadbasket of the island. You know, that's where the farmers are, the fishermen are, and they supply a lot of what the rest of the island eats. All of that's now gone. You know, we have Black River Safari, YS Falls. Treasure Beach invented community tourism where we invited people into our homes to see how we live. You know, to create empathy and an understanding of our culture and our lives and everything that makes Jamaica, Jamaica. All of that is gone. You know, Lover's Leap, Floyd's.
That's where Lover's Leap is too.
Yeah. Floyd's Pelican Bar, which is world renowned around the world. Calabash Literary Festival, another world famous event. All those things are in this area, and they've just been completely destroyed.
And for those who don't know, because my brother, his wife, they live in, you know, they have a place in Jamaica. They were not familiar with Black River and Treasure Beach area as much. But that's a lot of history. That's, you know, reading up about the fact that first set of electricity in that area, first motor car in that area.
Yeah.
Shakespeare's family, were they associated with the Waterloo guest house?
Waterloo guest house, yeah.
So that's like where I guess the history, the long time history for Jamaica. That's that part.
Black River is the capital of St. Elizabeth, the parish of St. Elizabeth. And I wrote this down because I didn't want to get it wrong. We had electricity in 1893, first telephone exchange in 1883. This was the first in the Western Hemisphere. The first automobile.
No, let's talk about that. The first in the Western Hemisphere.
First automobile in 1903. They had running water in 1799 before New York could even imagine any kind of luxury like that. So it has always been a very, very progressive place. But, you know, as with anywhere, Kingston became more important. Montego Bay became more important because of the tourist industry. And Negril, Ocherias. So the whole southern side of the island kind of got, you know, forgotten about. But the heritage is still there, the history is still there. And like I said, it's the breadbasket.
Breadbasket, which is the important piece.
Yeah.
I did see that some farmers, and I'm not sure how many, like, you know, knew how to protect the crops by cutting off the leaves so that, of course, it allowed that wind to whistle through easily. But looking at it, you see it covered by so much brown.
It's complete devastation. I mean, the sea surge, what the sea surge didn't take out, the wind and the rain did. I mean, Black River looks like a giant just walked in and took his hands and smashed everything. I've never seen that before. Entire roads have not only buckled, but chunks of them have been just picked up and put into fields nearby or on other sides of the road. It's complete and total, absolute devastation. You know, we've never been hit by a hurricane of this size.
No. And the thing that, because I saw that, I'm not sure, I don't want to call the newspaper, but I saw them write that did the American media overplay the hurricane? No, it did not.
No.
I don't think that people were expecting the level of hurricane because they've not faced a hurricane like that. My husband works in the hurricane industry. He kept looking at the pressure points and kept saying, this is even closer to a Cat 6. We don't have a category for what I'm seeing this pressure at. And so, no, it did not. If this hurricane had gone into Kingston, we would have been saying something completely different because the devastation would have been in people. It's because that area was not as populated.
That is true.
Understand that.
That is very true. It's because it wasn't as populated.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's almost as if, because it kept tracking a little bit west, it's almost as if it cut the island in half. And once the southwest side got completely devastated, the Montego, by the time it got over to the northwest side where the airports are and the tourists are, it had lessened.
Yeah.
And even so, half of Montego Bay Airport was damaged.
Mm-hmm.
But even that, I mean, Mandeville, which is in the middle of the island, and it's on a mountain, essentially, flooded.
Oh, really?
You know, you ask, how can a town on a mountain flood? The streets were flooded.
Wow.
You know, the amount of rain that came down and the wind, that did even more damage than the storm surge.
Yeah. I heard, I've lived through a hurricane, well, because we're in Florida, we live through hurricanes, but hearing that wind whistling is a very scary sound. Since then, I've always decided to, evacuate. I always go up to my sister-in-law in Georgia because I prefer to be out, not to stay. I've heard people describing what that whistling was like as they crouched.
It was more like screaming.
That's what they said.
I was in Jamaica for Gilbert, and that was a devastating hurricane. And I don't remember the devastation from that we're seeing now. I don't remember that from Gilbert.
Well, Gilbert technically was a Cat 3, no?
It was a Cat 3, but again, it was slow moving.
Oh, it was the same type of slow moving
type thing. And, I really don't want to get political, but the Caribbean has probably one of the lowest carbon footprints in the world. And yet, we're suffering the most from industrialized nations. And we like to jump up and down and hit the table and yell about reparations. Well, we need climate reparations at this point. You know, once again, we are paying the cost for industrialization.
Yes.
And I think that's something that needs to be given considerable attention. It's all very well and good that all this aid is coming in, and God knows we do appreciate it. But after the aid comes the rebuild.
It does. Something for everybody to note, this is not a sprint. It's a marathon. This is a rebuilding. This is not, we tell folks, find a charity that works with somebody you know or a cause that you know. Especially, and this part, because we've been down this road a lot, especially find it in a way that can take it from point A here all the way to ensuring it gets distributed in Jamaica. For us, we're going to partner with your group because we know that you have helped figure out about boots on the ground. Money needs to be spent in Jamaica, folks, okay? It's one thing for us to kind of buy here, but let's buy locally there and have it distributed. Then there are other legs. Cap Village is going to be a distribution point. Feel free to drop off your donations here, but this is not the first leg, right?
Very, very valid point. I mean, the economies of Jamaica have to continue.
Yes.
We have to get the stores back up and running so people can buy what they need from the stores. It's no point in sending all this aid, but we destroy the economy. And so it's very important. Money is probably the most crucial thing that we need right now. There's a lot of aid coming into the country, and we are eternally grateful for it, but that aid needs distribution. And a lot of these roads are destroyed. They cannot handle trucks. There's limited amount of helicopters that can helicopter things through. So we have to be realistic about this, because you don't want the aid to be a choke point.
Yes, and that has happened in the past a lot of times in a lot of islands, just to be clear.
There are warehouses that stores like El Piazar, Azan's, other big super chains have stores of products that are needed: tents, tarpaulins, ropes, matches, flashlights, solar lanterns. Those are there, right? Let us purchase them and give them to those that need. You know, Jamaica was just voted the #1 country in the world to help someone. We need help.
Yeah.
We need a lot of help, and it's a very emotional thing for me, and I have spent the last few days trying to figure out the best way to do this. And there's 2 organizations. I'm focused primarily on the Treasure Beach area, and the American Friends of Jamaica. That is an excellent organization. The website is thetheafj.org. You can donate directly from their website. The money goes to Jamaica. If you put in your donation that you would like it to go to the Breds Foundation, BREDS Foundation, which ironically is short for Brethren.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So if you put that in there, then that money will go directly to the Breds Foundation, and they are boots on the ground. This is the Hensel family. They have property down there. They live there, and I mean, ironically, all of their businesses have been destroyed, but they are focused on helping other people get up and running. So again, thetheafj.org, and put in the donation, the comment that you'd like it to go to the Breds Foundation. It will find its way to Treasure Beach, and it will help the people there desperately. And I know that all overflow of funds that they get will help with rebuilding whoever else needs it in the area as well. So please, any little amount that you have, it goes a long way.
It does. And guys, we want to remind you that, again, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Because if you feel like you want to donate clothing, you want to donate food items, you definitely can bring it. But what is needed more so now is the donation of funds, right? You see the group that she just described. That's who, even for us with Caribbean Strong down in South Florida, we're all still working through the American Jamaican Foundation.
American Friends of Jamaica.
That same organization, for when we have to deliver stuff now. We collect here, and then we take it down to Marlin Hill in South Florida, and they get the stuff all the way down to Jamaica and distributed. So again, there's multiple prongs, but for us, we definitely wanted you to come in because we want to put a face. We want to tell you that we're going to be aligning a lot of our resources and a lot of our talking around your hometown. And we're saying to everybody, you find a person and align with them. Like, for example, Dan Newland has aligned with Shaggy. They're doing stuff in the same area as well, but maybe they have other areas that they will have a focus on. That's going to be fine. If you're American or you're from another Caribbean island, you need to make sure this money gets to the Jamaican people. So you actually have to be very careful about where you actually donate to and where you put your, even down to donating clothes and stuff. Because again, we've been a part of this. We have seen people be overwhelmed with the donations, not be able to sort, and then not be able to transport, because sometimes people come and donate tons of water. To be honest, if you understand how hard it is to move water, you would understand that's not a donation anybody really needs to make.
Yeah.
All right. So those are just the things. If somebody is in this and they don't understand it, they'll be well-meaning, but it won't get done.
Well, it's, you know, it's like what Jesus said, teach a man to fish and he will live for the rest of his life. And that's basically where we are with Treasure Beach and the Black River area. They were ground zero for this hurricane. They got the hit direct, onslaught, total devastation. And this is where the fishermen are. This is where the people that feed the rest of the island live. They need their farms back up and running.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be able to take their boats out, get engines repaired. You know, they need tarpaulins for their roofs are gone
Mm-hmm.
on their homes. Some of the homes may be standing because we do build with concrete and rebar there.
Yes, thank God.
So the homes may be standing, but the roofs are gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so a basic thing like just putting a tarpaulin over so that they can move back into their house, start the cleanup, start the rebuild. Flashlights because there's no electricity. You know, matches so that they can cook a meal. Those types of batteries for the flashlights, solar lanterns, those things are very, very important. And they're available in Jamaica. They just need the money to purchase them. Because I cannot stress enough, the economies have to continue. The economy of Jamaica has to continue.
That's a very important point, and I do want to just wrap this segment on one note. If you are planning to take a vacation as a member of the diaspora, if you're planning to take a vacation as a Jamaican or a Caribbean person, take it to Jamaica. That's one of the ways we continue the economy rolling around. All right, so we're gonna pause on this note, and we're gonna drop the link below about where to donate. You're going to get an semblance of all of this information underneath this video. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for staying in the fight to ensure that we keep messaging and we keep donations flooding into Jamaica.